Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're all. My season 2, episode 3 preview of the Doctor Who series. This is called The Well. So, yes, let's get into it. It is written by Russell T Davies and Sharma Angel Wafau, and directed by Amanda Bocci. I think that's how you pronounce it. So, 500,000 years in the future, an empty planet at Atlantic base with lost contact. Which lost contact 15 days ago, and that's it. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes it's so much PR and publicity. These episodes were thin, and that's my fault too. I don't put on, but sometimes it's good to keep an episode quiet, so you can come to it unprepared. And believe me, nothing could prepare you for the terror that is about to be on you on the worst day of the Doctor's life. The episode is tough, it's weird, it's relentless, and it's both Sharma and I can promise you, it's miraculous or miraculous. Welcome to Planet 6767. Pray to Eve. So, interesting episode description. To be fair, I've already seen the next time trailer. We've already seen the next time trailer, of course, for this episode, and yeah, it does look more Doctor Who-ish, doesn't it? And to be fair to the series so far, it started off well, hasn't it? With the World Revolution and Lux, of course. So these are just the few images that we've got. Obviously, the first image you see where the base is at. And obviously the Doctor and Belinda they're kind of join the crew to to basically see what's going on basically. To get into the outfits and what's interesting is obviously this actor. I think this actor is a deaf actor because I do notice her from EastEnders. I've been seeing on EastEnders, I think, and not even by the images, there's been a lot of theories about what could be happening in this episode. There was a leak, wasn't there? There was a leak out thinking it was a midnight sequel. If you don't know, we obviously saw the midnight episode under David Tennant, which I will talk about in a minute in terms of the theories for this episode. So you see the introduction of the deaf actor, and obviously you see the Doctor looking quite panicked as well because I think they start to raise a gun at her. Well, not because something's on the back of her as well, which is quite similar to Turn Left, isn't it? You know, when Donna Noble had that beetle or on her back, and everyone else noticed it apart from her. It's kind of like that. It is kind of like that, but it might be something else, which we will talk about in terms of the theories for this episode. And obviously the last couple of images, the bottom image was from the trailer where the Doctor looks so feared. The Doctor looks so fearful about what is happening in terms of that scene. And you see Christopher Chun, who is one of the actors, it was being like forced away basically. Like the powerful forces like sent him back. Like bounced him back basically. So in terms of the theories for this episode, we'll start off then with the Midnight Eternity. Obviously, as you know, we saw it in the David Tennant episode, classic Doctor Who, of course. The Midnight Entity was capable of surviving on the planet Midnight despite the S-tonic rays, which should have killed any being on the surface. It was capable of shaping a Crusader 50 bus, causing dents in its walls and ripping off the cockpit. Feats which would require great strength. It was able to enter the bus without breaching its integrity once it chose to possess Sty Sylvester, of course. Although the process by which it did, so still caused a large inrun then to form in the shuttle. Destroy the shuttle's generator and damage the seats surrounding Sty. Obviously, the Eternity possess a human, it would start to copy what the person around it said, then speak at the same time, then predict what people would say. The doctor believed it was trying to learn about its surroundings. Then the being seemed to be able to learn at an incredible rapid pace and absorb the passenger's speech without forgetting, hesitating, or making a single mistake. It also mimicked mannerisms such as the 10th Doctor's use of Italian and French phrases, Molto Bene and I on C, of course. During the tour to the waterfall, a tour bus that was taking a previously unexplored detour to the waterfall apparently broke down while looking out a window. The onboard training mechanic called noticed a shadow among the diamonds that was moving in the distance, running towards the bus. Following the beginning of the passengers paranoid and Eternity knocked twice around the bus to get everyone's attention when Mr. Kane and the 10th Doctor knocked a different number of times, and then Eternity mimicked the pattern of Saki fallen stars essential traveling the Eternity closed in on her from the outside and somehow entered the shuttle without any sign of police, causing a dent in the shuttle's wall while whipping up the cockpit, killing the drivers in the phone track out from the loss of the main generator. The Eternity possessed die with the seats around the huddled in this immobile body having been yet stripped bare. The Eternity seems to have the strength of its horse, then repeats every word said in exact precision, including the square root applied to 30 dimensional pieces, and so thereafter the Eternity was able to copy others word for word at the same time, and then it possessed to solely copy the Doctor while ignoring the others. Eventually the Eternity stole the Doctor's voice, paralysing him and forcing him to repeat after it instead. Oh, and we still go on. Taking advantage of the historical level of paranoia that was amongst the passengers, and the Eternity convinced them that the Doctor is now possessed and needs to be thrown off the bus. However, while Professor Hobbs and Mr. Tam were trying to get rid of the Doctor, the Eternity made a grave mistake. It began using phrases that only the Doctor had previously said, prompting their attention to horses. The horses satisfies itself by treading the process died out of the S-tronic light, polarizing both of them to free the Doctor from the Eternity's grip and to ensure the safety of the passengers. Obviously, one more paragraph about the Midnight Eternity theory. Despite this, the Doctor had no idea if this accident killed Eternity or if it survived. In the eighth instant, the Enterprise company decided to withdraw its facilities from Midnight and abandon the planet to its external science once more, preventing the Eternity if it survived or if there were more from him any more victims. So that's the first theory that people have been torn off with about this episode. Would make sense. It would make sense to be fair, but you would have to say, do we want to continue that Midnight sequel when that was probably one of the most intriguing episodes in the Doctor Who era that we loved to watch? Do we need to continue that, really? So it would either be that, or it could be the Flood, which we saw towards the water of Mars, of course. Look quite creepy, don't it? Do look quite creepy. And the Flood's natural state was in liquid water. It was capable of controlling the water, causing it to flow in unnatural directions. It was also capable of infecting other life forms by coming into contact with them, making them spasm and convulse as they were taken over, mainly because it was viral life form. Once infected, the individual constantly exuded water pouring from the body, hands, mouth, this could be increased to produce high pressure sprays from both the hands and the mouth. The infected victims would no longer draw the oxygen from air but from water, and they would be near walking composites as the infection rate weakened their heartbeats and pulse. The infection caused a lot of electrical activity in the whole brain. Upon mutation, infected victims could deactivate nearby cameras. When infected, the host would also develop flat skin, especially around the mouth and the neck, and platinum teeth, as well as internal fission in the horse body that produce the water. Some horses, such as Andy Storm, Taratata, to develop faded pure eyes. However, it was possible for some to retain the natural clear eyes, such as Margaret Kane. While it is possible was to aid in this invertation, such as Kane's case, this does not explain why errors returned their eyes. The 10th Doctor suggested that this might mean they were closer to human than those with the faded pure eyes. These were physical symptoms to be masked, meaning that the infection could hide inside the human horse and infect them at any moment. The horse also had the ability to survive on the surface of Mars. Horse could also run extremely fast, even done as far as to keep up with the water-powered robot and outrun other running people. Sindel dropping out the viral water emitted by the horse could pass on to the infection to the other horse, despite the considerable amount of water produced by the infection. The infected did not seem to be over-infected by the electricity, resulting in water conducts as well. The infected Storm was executed by the Doctor. Obviously, David Tennant's Doctor, of course, but was only momentarily incapacitated. However, the flood creatures being made almost entirely of water and constantly producing it could also be destroyed by intrusive heat. The weakness was shared with those who imprisoned them, the Ice Warriors, of course. So the final paragraph then, the flood proved capable of conducting action despite being scattered, as well as considerable intelligence. When affecting the Ice Warriors, it could communicate verbally once infection manifested itself, comet the walls of winter. Alternatively, human victims could no longer speak English, but could hear it during growls and snarls, and could seemingly only understand Agent North Marston. All infected could also emit terrifying high-pitched screams that sounded like tortured metal cable cracking open ice, and communicate with other infected victims. Strangely, a victim's scream could be heard through the thickness of metals. So, they are the theories, really. The theories that could happen in this episode. To be honest with you, the Yeats were true in that series. There were Yeats in that series, weren't there? And they became to be true, so it's most likely going to be once then another Midnight sequel, because especially when you see in the trailer, in one of the trailers, that the Doctor does actually hold on to the Death Actor, and it looks like he is being possessed as well, because he's shaken, and he is shaken as well in Hootie, as you see in the trailer. So it's probably going to be the Yeats are probably true, and it's probably going to be another sequel to the Midnight Eternity for this episode. So, but anyways, that's my thoughts. That's my preview for series 2, episode 3, on what we could expect from Noel. It looks good, doesn't it? It looks good in this sound trailer. It looks scary, it looks creepy, as well. And Doctor Who has started to create Star People this series, and I think it will only continue. with this episode, so I can't wait for it. Which will be next Saturday. Well, this Saturday upcoming, 8 a.m. on BBC iPlayer. You want to watch it on BBC iPlayer, and I think it'll be around 7 o'clock UK time to air on TV. So feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments. What do you think's going to happen in this episode? Will we see the Doctor get possessed? A bit like David Tennant did in Midnight in Eternity, or will it be the return of the Flood? Or will we see more different creatures? Who knows? Different scary creatures. Feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments, and I'll see you all for the review of The Well.